So I've come back to the bench because I found the original sheet of this. The other day we worked on this on, let me see, this one over here, and as you can see it was quite blurry and very hard to work out because this is a printed version. Like I said, I've come back to the desk because I found the original one, which all that mucking around we did the other day was to see where this black line was. Now, we are zoomed in the maximum I can go here, where this black line is, and we were close, but I don't think we were 100% correct, right? So this says just underneath, where's my pointer? So this one says just underneath this one here, and there's a small little line there. And the front, very clearly, if I go back to the front the other day we were talking about this square, and I thought it started off somewhere here. Now this is a very, very thin line now, and actually, looking at this plan, I'm probably going to say it's 1mm line, not a 2mm line. But putting a 1mm line on very straight is not easy to do. So I'm still not sure whether I'll go with the 1mm or the 2mm. I do have them both, so it doesn't really matter. But very clearly we can see where the line is here. Now, the other interesting thing was that actually on the hull, wait for it to catch up, there's actually a line already on the hull that is pretty close to this. And the other day we talked about it. See, where's this bit here? Come on, catch up. So somewhere here, where's my finger? Yeah, so this part here, come on, that's where the flat bit is, or the angled bit. So, and that's where the piece of plastic is along there. We were going to do it along that edge there, and that is a curved bit, whereas if you follow the hull, it's a little differently. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because now that I've seen this plan, it kind of changes things a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I went back and I put a little bit more black on, just to a little bit higher, so I can change the way the line is. It's pretty close to where we were. I just need to change it, that's all. So here's the ship, and this is where we were going to put it before, on this line and this line. I'm now saying the correct spot, please don't mark it, is just above it here, and follow this line all the way through. All the way through. So it actually makes a whole lot more sense. It gets a little difficult to start over here because of these cross lines, but yeah. So now that it's kind of painted, I'm just going to go along and put the tape on and get it ready for the next color, basically. So if you're wondering if I've changed ink, yeah, and same with the back here. So if we look at that plan down here, we were just under this line here, and this is why I feathered it out and made it a little bit bigger. So by the time I drop I actually think it's that line there, but the line changes just a little bit here and onto here. So anyway, that's the way it's going to be now. So I probably spent the last half an hour, 40 minutes putting this line on. Pretty happy where it is. Yeah, just thought I would come in and show you. That is the line that I ended up picking, which is pretty much where it was. We are a fraction higher, just there's no doubt about that. So, and the point of all this is the black is on there. We'll put this on and that'll hold the black line, and then we can paint the rest of the colors. Okay, I'm going to do the other side now. Well, there's my line. I've got it on. Try and swing it around that way. Pretty happy with it. here's the other front section. Come around, try and keep steady. It's probably just a little off on the very nose there, but I can fix that up. But there's the line, so try and keep it that way. Okay. Well, now that it's masked up, I suppose the only thing left to do is put some colour on it. So I just did 6 of these, 1 pinch level into the cup. So I'm going to do 6 of those and probably 4 of these, mix it up and see how we go. So I just added the 4. I think I'll mix it now. Or not. Why is that not working? Yeah, how thick is it? It's probably a little thin. I think we'll do one more paint. So that'll mean we'll be 5 of these. Fix it up in a minute. Lid on straight away. Spills. Not on. Let's mix this up again. Let's have a look now. Yeah, that is much better. Okay. So what you're kind of looking for is not water, not quite milk either, so somewhere in the middle. That's got a few bubbles in it now. We'll let that go off and I'll go rinse this off. So I'm going to set my gun up, and I'm really happy with it after I pulled it all pieces and cleaned it. And I flushed the last one out nicely. I won't be doing that again. And now I'm going to concentrate a lot on this one. But what I'll do, the test piece, I'll do in front of you. But the hull, I want 100% concentration. So I'll do the test. And then when it comes to the hull, I'm going to turn the camera off for a few minutes. Okay, so what we're looking for here, this is a pretend level of the ship. So I'm going to dust coat it first. Come on. Because I want to see, do I need to put undercoat back on this to bring this back up? Something tells me I might, but we'll see. So we'll let that dry. We'll come back in a few minutes. I've come back in. I've got the undercoat back. Now, on this test piece, we want to know: do I have to now black out the black? Can I just go onto it, or do I have to bring the outsides back to the same color so it blends better? Something tells me that's what I have to do, but we're going to find out. So the undercoat is ready. So what we're going to do, we're just going to pretend to bring this line back to try and fade some of that black out. Yeah, I reckon that's going to be a good idea. Because when you paint that now, it's all going to be the same. And same we'll do the top. The point of this is it's not hard for me to come back and put just a slight little bit of undercoat on there. So when we put the top coat, it's the same. I've got this thinned out, I'm not saying I'm thinned it out, but I've got this spraying really, really thin because I don't want a massive thick line on there. So that's the undercoat side. So it looks like it's all fairly dry. So what I'll do, I'll come back with the colour. I did it again. I thought it was recording when it wasn't. So what I just did is, so this was undercoated. I've hit this with the paint, one coat, and then kind of dusted it again. This one already had the one anyway, and then I put like a third coat on, and you can see the black is bleeding through. So what I'm going to do is, now that like I said, this is our test kit. So now that we can see what it looks like, we're going to have to grey some of that black out to bring back to some even colour. So there's the ship with my line on there, and the plan is to basically get rid of the black now. So now I peeled this tape up at the other end, and I did get a little bit of lifting up there. The whole point of this is to roughly get it down, and if it needs some touch up, I don't mind touching up, but if it rips it all off, I'm not going to be happy. But we can still tape either side of it and still fix it if we need to. So what I'm going to do now is just basically just now trying to get rid of some of the black. What I might do is put a dust coat on this first, and then I'll come back and hit it again. So with a dust coat, it can go on. I mean, it's not enough, but we'll just dust that off. I'll come back when it's done. Just reload the paint. So there's the first dust coat over the black. I'll spin it around. And this is now the other side. Probably could have gone a little heavier. So now what we'll do, we'll blacken the rest. We'll get rid of the rest of that black. And I'll come back. So the black is now gone. There's a couple of little wet patches there, which is probably what you can see. Okay, I'll turn it back around again. So here's the other side. It needs a second dust coating to get rid of that last bit of black. Okay, there is the second coat put on. So we're going to let that dry. Now what we're going to do, that white line, I'm going to mask this section down, because the last thing I want to do is now hit this with red and create the same problem we did with the black. So I'll mask which is technically the top of the ship, of the hull, and then we can get ready to paint all the bottom side. So I'll mask it up and I'll come back after it's dry. Okay, about an hour and a bit has passed, and I've just taped up the other parts that I don't want to paint on, so we're actually ready to hit it with the red. I'm going to concentrate on this, and I'll come back afterwards. There's my dust coat. I'll spin it around and a bit more. Let's also not forget about the rudders while we're here. Well, there she is with the red on it. Pretty happy with it. Got a little bit lucky near the end. I did drop one drop of paint on it, but it landed in such a spot, I'm going to get away with it. Well, you know what they say, if it's this good, stop. The more you do with it, the more that, you can muck it up. So I'm actually very happy with it. I just got to flip these around once they dry. I'll probably wait another hour or so for that. And yeah, we're pretty good. So I'm not going to pick that up yet, because I just said, when it's good, don't muck with it. Okay. And if you're wondering how much was left after what I made up, that's about it. So it was a pretty good guess, and there's a little bit left over for touch-ups near the end. Well, here's the test piece. I thought I'd see how this one goes. And I've just done it again. I've hit pause. I just did 5 minutes talking and it's not there, which is why you didn't see me take it off. So I don't know how I keep doing that. Anyway, so this side was done with the undercoat to blacken out the black, and this side was just, we put no undercoat, and you can kind of see the black trying to peel through here. It's only, this probably had a couple of layers, but this is kind of like what we're after. And then we'll have the colour on top, which I think I got the result that I was after, which is, you know, trying to keep that skinny little line, which is not an easy thing to do. And the 2mm tape definitely helps. So, yeah, anyway, I think we're going to leave it here for today. I've done plenty of work here. I will re-undercoat this side because it did spill through a little bit. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I kind of enjoyed it. It's looking really good. And bit of luck. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.